cracking up, big flex on the scene. Seats popping, truth dropping, keeping it clean. Culture laughs and a little bit of sass. Snacking while we talk, you don't wanna miss that. Snack up, speak up, it's time to crack up with Big Flexx.
Can y'all hear me now? We're back. Can y'all hear me now? Hi, friends. All right, so we're going to have to start this thing over. Hey, my TikTokers. You guys already got the first view, but we're going to do it over for our YouTubers because they just joined in. So, with that being said, we're going to redo our intro. Here we go.
cracking up, big flex on the scene. Seeds popping, truth dropping, keeping it clean. Culture, laughs, and a little bit of sass. Snacking while we talk, you don't wanna miss that. Snack up, speak up, it's time to crack up with Big Flexx.
All right, y'all, we're back. I'm super happy to be here today. We're back with another episode, a new year of Cracking Up with your girl, Big Flexx. I am happy to be here today, y'all, because this year we're setting a tone. 2025 was one of reflection. It was one of healing. It was one of progress. And for me specifically, it was most definitely one of the most difficult years for me, I believe, since I've been divorced. So when I tell y'all the struggle is real, it is real, but we're going to make it work. We're going to make something shack, okay? 2026 is something new, something refreshing. And so we're starting off this year right. We're getting back to the things that I love to do. And as you know, I love talking to my people, okay? So with that being said, today, y'all, we are going to be talking about healing. Healing will cost you, people. Let's talk about it. You might feel stuck. You might feel like you're alone, but I'm here to tell you that you're not. I want to talk about something that we don't say out loud a lot at all, which is healing will cost you, people who benefited from the old version of you. I'm going to say that again for the people in the back in case you didn't hear me. I said healing will cost you, people who are immune to the old version or benefited from the old version of you. So are you feeling stuck? It's not because you're lazy. It's not because you're not loyal. It's because you're loyal to something, or disloyal. It's because you're loyal to something that is hurting you. So if you've been feeling this, trust me, you're not alone. Today, we are going to unpack this. We are going to crack down on the fact that healing can be beneficial, but let's talk about the process, right? The feelings of hurt, the feeling of anxiety of losing the people that you thought would always be there. It's a struggle. The struggle is real. What's up, gang? Hi, Ellen. Oh my goodness. It's great to see you, y'all. It's great to be back, honestly. I know a few people have been missing it. So definitely talking about some major things. Hi, cousin. Y'all, my cousins in the chat too. Okay. Y'all make sure y'all. So again, you're not alone, right? So this is a safe place. This is an opportunity for us to talk about it. And again, to progress and grow for our new year. I know a lot of people think that healing is definitely a vulnerable place to be in, but it does not make you weak. So let's talk about the changes and the access that changes when you heal, right? So healing means that you have less availability, right? Availability to people who are, again, immune to the old versions of you. People are going to only react. Typically, they react when that access changes, right? Because they're feeling something different. Now, that doesn't always mean that it's a failure. Growing up for me, we are very much so family oriented. We have a very close knit family, and there were some things that in our communities were taught to stick together, right? And a lot of communities as well, other communities, but specifically in our family, in our community, we're taught to stick together, right? And so when you step out of that community or outside of your realm of people and you go into the real world, i.e., wherever, right? Outside of your family dynamic, when you step outside of that and you interact with other people who may not have been raised the same, you're exposed to a lot of different knowledge. And so I obtained that knowledge and that experience when I went to college. And I saw and met a lot of different people. Again, high school was not my time. I know y'all heard me talk about it before. High school wasn't my time, but in all aspects, college definitely exposed me to a lot of different things, a lot of different people. And then after college, right, being married, being exposed to different family dynamics, and then being divorced. What does that look like? So we've gone through a lot of changes over the year, and I can tell you guys from speaking to from experience, the healing has most definitely changed the access. It's not personal. It's a part of growth. And so once you change the lens in which you're looking at things, you can look at life a little bit differently. And that's all we're here for, y'all. We're just here to progress, to grow together. So, what are we cracking today? Has healing cost you someone? I need y'all to put a yes in the chat. I need a thumb, anything. Has healing cost you someone? I need y'all to put a comment in the chat for me. Has healing cost you someone? All right. So, with that being said, I'm going to talk about loyalty and the aspect of healing and self. Okay. So, loyalty without alignment is self abandonment. What does that mean? If we're not aligned, if we're not on the same page, it's that what do you say, give or take mentality. And again, going through life and these challenges and all of the things that I have experienced personally, right? When you are not aligning your loyalty, it is self-abandonment because you're putting someone else above yourself. And again, I'm guilty of it, right? I've experienced it, but I also had to take a year of isolation to truly understand what that looks like. So staying too long out of guilt. Woo! Not knowing when to leave, not knowing when to say bye. How many of us experience this consistently, right? We stay too long. That's a part of it as well. And then fear of being misunderstood. Where my hands at? Because I need to raise both of them, okay? The fear of being misunderstood. One thing that I had to learn over the course of this last year, y'all, is seriously, sometimes you have to know who you're talking to. It is. It's a part of, again, self accountability. That self abandonment is. I was putting that. I wanted to please someone else so bad because I wanted them to know how it felt to feel loved, right? Not just love, but loved unconditionally, love without any boundaries, love without any bounds. What does that look like? And so I was so worried about everyone else experience that love. I didn't understand that I deserved it too. So we had to take a pause, right? We had to self-reflect. We had to have these types of conversations. And so my goal again here is to crack down on a lot of the common misconceptions that we have, because we all have our own journeys and we all have our own experience. But that suffering, that child that you have to heal internally, right? Again, that fear of being misunderstood. I worked so hard to try to explain myself to the wrong people. Let's be real, right? Sometimes when you're talking to someone, you have to understand the lens in which they're looking at you with. So loyalty without alignment was self-abandonment. Okay. So I decided to love myself a little bit more than I decided to love others. Why? Because that allowed me to be able to pour relentlessly. It allowed me to pour honestly, right? And it allowed me to move past the stage in which I felt stuck. So we're able to come back here. We're able to do the things that we love, and we're able to have the conversations that we weren't always necessarily able to have. So who are you being loyal to that you should be loyal to yourself instead? Has there ever been a time in which you've experienced that? Now, again, I mentioned the fact that you may feel stuck in this phase. No, again, you are not alone. Sometimes you just have to call the right people. I'm here if you need me. You might have to send me a text message first. I'm just saying, but I am here if you need me. So keep that in mind. Hey y'all. So you are not stuck. Okay? You're at a decision. And decisions are uncomfortable. Let's not forget that as well. So I could not stand the phase. Being comfortable with being uncomfortable. That is so annoying to me, right? Who wants to be comfortable with being uncomfortable? Does that make sense? It does. It goes to that mindset shift that I just mentioned, right? So you're not stuck, right? Stuck means that you're avoiding the discomfort, right? I don't want to avoid it. I'm trying to grow through it. I'm trying to heal from it. And so how do I get there? And so growth requires grief. Do you guys know the stages of grief? If not, y'all need to definitely make sure that you go take a look at my Instagram, because I do have some videos in which I've referenced the different stages of grief. But growth requires grief. We have to let go of the thoughts that we had before. We have to let go of that mindset shift. It has to happen. It has to occur. And so when you get past the idea that you thought, again, we talked about the way that I was raised versus the way that I developed my own mindset and my own beliefs, right? So that's a part of growth. That's a part of the transition of life. So growth requires grief. And let me be very clear. Everybody's like, you've been so quiet. Where have you been, Flexx? I have been in my healing state, in my healing bag. Okay. We're in our healing bag, because the only way that we can progress is to heal. And so healing wasn't loud for me. It was honesty. And so I'm coming back into my world, the most raw, authentic version of myself right now. Right? Because that's going to change. It's going to look different. And so we get to watch the evolution of each other. And that's the most beautiful thing about being human, is the growth, the development, the knowledge that we get to share with one another. So again, this is a platform, an opportunity, a space, and there will be a journal coming out that I will be dropping soon. So be looking out for that content as well, y'all. Because again, I took this year very serious. We're not playing no games, okay? We get into the bag. So with that being said, again, healing for me was not loud. It was just honesty. And it was a lot of mirrors going up. And it was a lot of conversations with people who I felt would not judge, right? And again, they're human. So being fair to them as well. So just putting that out there, y'all. Okay. So what decisions have you been postponing? Right? What have you put off? What growth are you avoiding? Y'all drop a comment, drop a like. Okay, I need to hear something. Okay, y'all share your stories. And if you don't feel comfortable sharing on live, y'all send it to me in the DMs. We'll go over it, because listen, we're going to be back every Monday, y'all. Unless we put out a notice, we're going to be back every Monday starting at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we're going to be cracking all of these facts. Okay, so now, are these things resonating with you right now, right? I love the comments. I love the engagement, but are these things resonating with you? Have you experienced life and losing someone while you're going through the healing process? And what does that look like? So if this conversation is helping you, y'all, please, please, please make sure that you hit me up. Follow me on all platforms. We're on Instagram, Facebook, X, TikTok live. Hey, my TikTokers. So we're getting back out there, y'all. But for sure, if this is helping you, y'all make sure y'all tap in with me. I_am Big Flexx. Don't forget the 2X, okay? So with that being said, we want to talk a little bit about the people who were a part of this journey, right? This really, what do you call it? When you're growing your locks, right? And you have that little baby phase, right? Right before they start hanging and flowing the way that they're supposed to hang and flow, right? They look like little baby worms, right? They call it the ugly phase. And so what did your ugly phase look like? Before you got to the flowing, healthy growth, what does it look like? So thank you. I love you. Exactly. And facing those ugly truths is hard, right? And especially about yourself. Okay, it's easy to talk about somebody else. I'm not gonna hold you because I'm pretty funny. But when you're talking about yourself, that is when it becomes a little bit more difficult, right? That mirror that has to be put up. And then having to forgive the people that hurt you, but then also understanding that you allowed that to happen. You know how hard that is to sit in your own self and recognize that it low key is you, right? You can't blame anybody else. It's all about self accountability. I had a few friends during my journey that tried to tell me that, and I wasn't in a place to hear it, right? So understanding when people are in places to hear things and not taking offense. Y'all, I promise you, and I was just telling somebody this, my mom, y'all, to me, I will say I was in that space of misunderstanding my mother, right? My mom, if you know my mom, you know that she is very much so well-spoken, but she's soft-spoken as well. And so my mom does not always speak on things, right? And in this generation, I'm confused about why I can't use my voice as a black woman. Okay, I take offense, but I had to come from a different lens, and I had to go through different life changes to understand her and why she chose to be so selective about the things, and when to say them is just as important, or how you say them is just as important as what you have to say, right? My mom told me one day, and y'all have heard me mention this story, that Sister Soldier and Karen don't mix. What does that mean? That means that as a vocal black woman who understands or is understanding who she is and where she comes from, and understanding the power of my voice, I still also have to understand the power in my silence. And that's what that 365 days just taught me, y'all, is the power of letting go and letting God sometimes, right? And the healing, again, that journey, that process, right? How do we talk about the grief process and the space that we have to be in to process healing, to process moving on, and to process what that next stage of life looks like? We're doing it together. I just hit 30. Whew. I just turned 30, y'all. And I realize that this is just the beginning. It's a beautiful thing, but it's just the beginning. So we are gonna do it together. Allies are, ooh, I like that. Allies aren't always understanding. Exactly. That doesn't mean they don't love you. They just can't comprehend what you're saying. Again, it might not be their time. It might not be your time. So I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. And I'm looking forward to our journey together moving forward. So again, y'all, please, please, please make sure that you share this post, share the comments, and be sure to tune in every Monday. We said we're gonna do it, y'all, so we're gonna stick to it. Every Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, unless we have to communicate something different. So I'm looking forward to this next phase. I'm looking forward to the journey, and I'm looking forward to y'all seeing what this growth look like. Okay. But yes, y'all make sure y'all tune in next week as well. We're going to make sure that we are keeping the topics going, and we are going to get back to the fun of this, y'all. The conversations, the importance of healing together, and the growth. So, healing, loyalty, and letting go. What does that look like for you? Y'all leave a comment. What's up, y'all? Hey. Um, yeah, y'all make sure y'all leave a comment. Now, listen, okay? I know YouTube, all these different platforms are very particular about how we play background music, but I do want to add in this. If you have not had the opportunity to see, let me see, I think it's called The Longest Walk. Let me make sure that's what it's called. Yes, y'all. If you have not had the opportunity to see The Long Walk, that's what it's called, and we'll make sure we add a clip in later. If you haven't had the opportunity to take a look at The Long Walk, I'm going to need you to do that ASAP Rocky. This is a movie that came out in 2025. It's about an hour and 48 minutes. It's listed as a horror movie, but it's not giving horror vibes. It's giving suspense. It's giving usually it's giving what's that movie? Get Out, right? It's the underlying political ideals that are in it, y'all. This movie was absolutely amazing, and it goes perfectly with this topic that we're talking about right now. Okay, so the movie starts out with two buddies who are on this walk together, and it's not just two buddies, it's a plethora of young men who are on this walk, but essentially it's a part of the government structure, almost like Hunger Games, right? So you send your vulnerable young people, and you go from there. So this specific movie, though, these young men are in the military, and so it's about at the age of 18, there we go. It's this walk that's taken, and so at the end of the walk, the winner, right, just like at Hunger Games, gets their greatest wish, right? Their wish is granted. And so the two main characters, which is David Johnson, I believe is his name, he plays Peter. And then you also have, what is his name, Cooper Hoffman. There we go. And so again, these two young men are best friends. One is of African American descent, one is Caucasian. And the African American young man comes from a different background than the Caucasian young man. The Caucasian young man volunteered himself because he was on that Sister Soldier effort that we was just mentioning, right? He was following in his father's footsteps. His father still wanted to teach him literature, so that got his father killed. So when his father got killed, he decided to do the same thing. His goal and objective was to change the outcome of this walk. He did not think that the walk should happen. It was wrong, all of the things, right? Now, his friend, on the other hand, that he was walking with, right? Peter is who I was referencing. Peter comes from, this is not his longest walk, right? He's been walking all his life, right? A majority of us understand, right, the difference between being Black in America. Let's talk about it, right? So it's a really, really good movie. It has a lot of good underlying things, but the one thing that I want to talk about right now is the healing, and the healing that happened at the end of this walk. Y'all, the reason why this is so relevant to what I am saying right now is because we all have a walk. Let's be real. Okay, on that walk, we are going to have a lot of different challenges. Okay, there were some young men that were on this walk and they had the runs. Okay, they had to go to the bathroom. Let's be real. Okay, there were some young men who were walking without shoes, some young men who had advantages because they were fully dressed. There's so many different things. We all have our own journey and our own walk. Okay, now at the end of that walk, these young men decided that the relationships that they developed along the walk, the healing that happened during this walk, right, was more important than their own personal when they first came on the walk. So they found something bigger than themselves. So what I'm saying to us is we have to find something bigger for ourselves along this journey, along this walk, so that when we get to the end of it, on the other side, we're healed, we're whole, and we feel like we can progress without caution. Now, am I saying that this is not gonna happen? No. We're gonna spend the rest of our lives going through challenges. Again, that's the purpose of the walk, right? In this movie. But at the end, there was healing and there was a change in messaging. It was bigger than him. You found brothers at the end of that walk, right? So who you came in with may not be who you leaving with, and who you leave with may not be who you came in with. So always remember to embrace the change, embrace the journey and the progress, y'all, because we all know it's real out here. It is very real. But again, if you have not seen that movie, I'm gonna need y'all to take a look at it because it really is good. I mean, me and my younger brother watched it together, not walked it. We watched it together, and it was really good. So be sure to take a look at the long walk. Be sure to be on the lookout again for my journal that will be coming out. I'm super excited about that, and we'll be back on Monday. Okay, y'all make sure y'all tap in. I just want to leave y'all with this one message. Okay, one message. Healing doesn't mean you're doing too much. It means you remembered that you deserve better. If nobody told you today, you're allowed to choose yourself. Y'all be sure to make sure that you follow if you want more conversations like this. We are out here, we're healing out loud, and we are cracking up with Big Flex. I'm looking forward to seeing y'all next Monday. Y'all make sure that you leave a comment, make sure that you share. And if this resonated with you, if you can relate, if you've had to do some healing or letting go of people that you didn't necessarily think that you would have had to let go of, y'all be sure to leave a comment in the chat, okay? It's about to get real in 2025, y'all. 2026, excuse me, 2025 was real. It's getting real in 2026. We're making moves, we're making progress, and I'm looking forward to seeing y'all cracking up with Big Flexx. I'll holla at y'all soon.
Cracking up, big flex on the scene. Seeds popping, truth dropping, keeping it clean. Culture, laughs, and a little bit of sass. Snacking while we talk, you don't wanna miss that. Snack up, speak up, it's time to crack up with Big Flexx.